Okay, so here we are. We're just about ready to prepare a tilapia. Ray wanted different options for fish, so we're going with a light fish. Tilapia is a very, very mild fish, not much flavor in this, so we need to do something with that. So we're going to use make a citrus marinade with orange, a lemon, and we're going to do some fresh herbs. So we'll put the fish out here. I'm just going to set it aside for a moment. Okay, so the first thing to do whenever you buy produce is to wash it, because the idea is when you start cutting it here and you get contaminants on the fruit, you put it onto your board, you put it onto your knife, and then you actually put it into your food. So anything you're going to use, your herbs, your vegetables, your fruits, etc., including the fish that you're going to use for this, you need to wash first, and then ideally you want to wash your hands as well. Just a soft soap works well, and I'm actually going to get ready to do the work here.
Of course it is.
So we're going to actually slice, we're going to peel and slice the orange, and we're going to use the lemon to squeeze over. So the first thing you can do is just slice that up.
And just...
Yep. Take the ends off and slice it down the side. Okay, there's a lot of bitterness in the orange. If you wanted to actually use the white portion here, that's where all the vitamin C is actually. So just cut that into chunks. You can cube that. Okay, so we'll just throw that in one of the marinating dishes here. You can use your hands, don't worry. Be afraid to get dirty. Okay, so the next thing we're just going to have the lemon, squeeze it over the orange. Ray's a fighter, so he certainly has the muscle power to do this. If you have any cuts on your hands, you might want to be careful doing this. Yeah, completely. Do two. Or a full lemon will give you about half a cup of juice. You get a quarter cup or so out of each side. Unless you let Ray do it, in which case you get every last drop. I'm a firm believer that cooking should not be work. It doesn't have to be a science. It can be a lot of fun. So never mind the measured pours. We know how big our fish is, so you can free pour. Also, salt will actually bring out the natural sweetness, believe it or not. If you want to try this at home, throw some watermelon down on 2 plates. Salt one very lightly, let it sit for 5 minutes, and taste the melon. You'll notice that the one that's salted will actually be a lot sweeter. So just because I'm after some of the sweetness to come through here, I'm going to put 2 small pinches of salt in with our mix. Now I've had Ray select some herbs that we're going to use, and in fact let them dip into the herb pile here, and we had them taste them naturally as they in a raw state. I recommend doing this at home before you cook, because you want to know the flavors of what you're about to use. Thyme, for instance, here is a very strong, the thymol, the oils that are in here are very, very strong and overpowering. When you're using a fish like tilapia, it will overpower the flavors. So we're actually going to go with a basil, and you can use lemon basil or garden basil, which this is. Because you're just going to mash it up anyway, if you lay this out, squeeze it together, kind of roll it, just come along with this, keeping your fingertips out of the way, please. There's a lot of flavor there because you've been doing a lot of slicing. But if you really want to get the flavor out of it, take it in your fingers and really squeeze it. Bruise the leaves that aren't fully cut. That releases the flavors. And that is a basic marinade for a tilapia. So we're just going to wash the fish now quickly, rinse it.
It's washed and rinsed.
Oh, it's washed and rinsed. Excellent. This is the nice thing about having a team. And I'll get ready to bring that dish over. And I'll get fishy. Okay. When selecting your fish, make sure that you don't feel like a slimy coating. That's actually bacterial activity happening on the fish. Just give that a quick clean. Also, the important thing to remember when you're using herbs, like basil, like thyme, like rosemary, etc., there's phytochemicals in those that are antibacterial. So cooking with herbs, with proteins like fish that are known for bacterial activity, throw the herbs in there to help in keeping that fish clean. We're just going to let that sit for 20 minutes or so. It doesn't need long, and then we will cook that up. Okay, so here's the masterpiece. This is the tilapia that we made earlier. It's been marinating for about 20 minutes. What I have done is I put a little bit of coconut oil heated up in the skillet here on our stove, and quite literally it is really this easy. We just tip everything into our pan, our skillet. Try and get all the herbs in there. Like I say, the herbs are antibacterial as well as a flavoring agent, and they're also going to give us some vitamins and minerals. And there you are, and we're going straight on the oven, or stove, I'm sorry. You'll see a lot of the liquid in here. This is going to infuse into the fish as we're cooking as well. And there we go. So I have flipped it once already, and time elapsed here has been about 7 minutes total. Yeah, just too much oranges. Or what you could do is when you do the reduction.
I don't mind it either, but you can tell, you can taste them.
Yeah. When you do the reduction, leave the sauce and just scoop the oranges. Like use a slotted spatula like we're using here.
Yeah.
And just take the oranges out and leave the lemon behind, yeah. So that it's not too in your face.
I like that.
Ah.
Oh, I like that a lot.
What I like about it is you can still taste the tilapia.
And it's got a nice texture too. And that way you just go at home and pull out your fish and put those marinades on.
Okay.
And then went off and did other stuff and
You
organized
can marinate
yourself.
it. Often what I'll do is I'll prep it the night before, stick it in a Ziploc bag, take the air out, stick it in the fridge. And then you get home the next night, squeeze it into the pan, and away you go.